Wow. This is my puppy bowl. We gotta lick our stick? Yes. I must ask you a question. Wow, that tastes like crayon. Breaking news, this just in, I have a second channel and it's a cooking channel. If anyone is interested in subscribing over on that channel, I'd love to have you all. Thank you so much, and now onto the video. Today we're throwing it way back to 1995, that's right, 30 years ago. I'm reviewing this candy box and it dates back to 1995. Now this is not super old candy, so these are the items that were popular in 1995. Is this gonna be rad or is this going to be gross? We're gonna figure that out in today's review. And folks, I have to make a brief note. I am wearing a different shirt. I filmed this episode in 2 parts. So you'll see me wearing a burgundy shirt and you'll see me wearing this candy colored pink blueberry shirt, and I'm letting you know that is why. So when you see 2 different shirts, don't be shocked and don't be startled. On with the video. This is our 1995 box right here. Let's go ahead and open it. Ooh, all sorts of fun goodies in here. We got some Warheads. I love Warheads. Ring Pop Strawberry. Let's first go ahead with these nerds right here. It looks like we have watermelon and cherry flavor. Now the Nerds candy was introduced in 1983 by Willy Wonka. And I'll also have everyone know that it was named Candy of the Year in 1985. This candy is still widely popular and sold in other formats. And this was exceptionally popular in the 1990s. And if we look right here, we can see a tiny little tab. Let's go ahead and poke that in so we can get a taste of these Nerds and see what we think. That's interesting. There's 2 different sides, obviously. There's green and red, but they're more separated than I thought. So if you pull the tab up in the middle, it shows you the 2 sides, but they're still pretty separated. So what we have to do is go right here where there's this, and that pops open the hole right here. And if we slide this little tab this way, we can see that the green side opens up. So let's try red first. Watermelon. I don't know if I've had watermelon Nerds yet. This is what they look like. If you've seen Nerds before, you have an idea of what Nerds look like, and I've seen what Nerds look like. These ones are red. I don't know if I've had red before. Those are pretty good. I just pulled out some red and green in my hand right now. This is what the green looks like. This is what the red looks like. Pretty dang sour, if I'm gonna be honest with you. Not super sour, but delightful. They do kind of stick to your hands too. Those might be the best Nerd flavor, if I'm gonna be honest with you. They are slightly sour though. I love sour. Okay, next up in this box, let's try the Warheads Cubes and the Warheads Extreme Sour. Now, something that's interesting to note is that Warheads originated in Taiwan in 1975 and hit US stores in 1993. And they saw major popularity by 1999 with $40 million. Now, I had these Warheads Extreme Sours when I was a kid, along with the Nerds, but I did not ever have the Cubes. I think the Cubes are a new variant to me, but I look forward to trying them. First, we're going to open the package that says Extreme Sour on it. And we'll just pick the first flavor that comes out. It's watermelon again. We're on a watermelon rage today, I don't know. But yeah, this is the watermelon package right here. Cute packaging. That's sour, but it tastes so good. I love sour. There's a lemon flavor, which I've never had before. Now it's turning a little bit sweet. Delightful. Would get again for sure, as I have many times throughout the years. Next up, we are going to try the Cubes version. There is orange, green apple, strawberry, black cherry, watermelon, and blue raspberry. And with this one, there was watermelon, black cherry, blue raspberry, lemon, and apple. Let's rip this open and take out the first one. I'm gonna pour some out in my hand and show you guys. Now guys, look at this. This is pretty dang cool. We've got red, orange, green, watermelon, and blue raspberry. They all have a nice coating of soury sugar on them. I'm gonna go for blue raspberry because I love blue raspberry. Slightly sour, but by no means not as sour as the extreme sour Warhead. That one kicked a little differently. And I would note that most of these flavors are tasting the same, like the cube form. Not so much, I don't think, the extreme sour. Like the extreme sour definitely tasted like watermelon. The orange one tastes exceptionally different, but the other ones I had, cube form, they weren't much different. Green apple, some. Warhead's extreme sour still wins in my opinion. Moving on. Next up, let's try Razzles. Have any of you ever had these before? I don't think I really had these as a kid. I know many people who did, but I was more into the, you know, the Warheads, the Nerds, the Ring Pops, sometimes Hubba Bubba, but I didn't really partake in a lot of Razzles back then. These Razzles were released in 1966, and they were very popular in the 1990s. They were popular for the tagline, first it's candy, then it's gum. These are still pretty popular in candy and gum form. And even on the front, we can see that it says, first it's candy, then it's gum. Let's go ahead and rip this open. Okay, the first flavor I see here is grape. Let's pour a couple out though. Wow, we've got grape, we've got blueberry, raspberry, and lemon. The one I'm gonna try is gonna be lemon first. Ew, ew, this is stale. Oh wow, I don't think there's anything gum about that. That's not good. We can see a little bit here, the yellow gum, but it's really, really stale. There's not much flavor to it. It kind of has like a cardboardy taste to it. Let's try blue raspberry next. Ooh, these have like a Tums taste to them if I'm gonna be honest. And they're very powdery in the mouth. We can see the blue gum here. It's gum, but it's stale gum. And last but not least, let's try the grape. I'm not a fan of these very much. I think they're cool-ish, but the texture bothers me, the powdery texture and the lack of sourness and lack of taste in general. That's rough. That has a very cardboardy taste to it. The raspberry is actually pretty good. It's better than all the other flavors. We can see here's the raspberry chewed up. It's actually pretty good. It has slightly more flavor than the others. Next up, Airheads. This is blue raspberry. Now, Airheads was launched in 1993 and quickly became #2 in the candy spot. Now, all the different flavors of Airheads were very popular in the 1990s, and I very much recall eating these as a kid. My favorites were blue raspberry, as we see here, and also mystery flavor. And these Airheads are still quite popular to this day. You can still see them on shelves, so I'm quite happy to see that. A part of my childhood is still there. I really like the packaging on front. We see the guy with the nice smiley face. He's a balloon man, and in nice balloon letters, it says Airheads. Let's go ahead and open this up. Ooh, that nice, immediately blue color. Look at that. Imagine if our tongues were that color. It'd be exceptional. Oh, wow. Don't you just want to take a bite of this? Yes, yes, yes. Oh man, that's good. Love it. Hey. That's good. I love Airheads. And my tongue is immediately blue, as you can see there. Wow. That was a very delightful Airhead though. And let's do a Bolt cameo. Okay. Hi everybody. This is my puppy Bolt. Isn't he so cute? He's a little less than a year old. He's a sweet boy, and he's very silly and very hyper too. He is very interested in all this colorful candy on the table. One thing, as a brief note, I really like about the 1990s is that it was full of color. I think I really miss the color nowadays. Often days it can feel quite bland and drab, you know. Back then, in the 80s too, things were so much more colorful. Now everything feels so gray. But maybe we can bring back some color in the world. That would be awesome. Right, Bolt? Oh, he's such a good boy. And that's Bolt.
I think he's actually falling asleep in my hands right now.
Oh, he's awake. Oh, yeah. Okay, moving on. This item we have here is known as Crybaby Extra Sour Tears. Now, I've never had this specific candy before, as this predates the birth of myself, as I was born in 1996. So that's just a year shy of 1995. But I wanted to give this box a review as it might bring in a little bit of nostalgia for me. This is a clear visual of what the package looks like. We have 5 flavors inside. There is lemon, cherry, apple, berry, orange, and watermelon. Now, if we look to the side of the package, we can see it says press. So let's go ahead and press. Then we can see a nice little cave inside. Let's go ahead and pour our candies out. Oh, they're bigger than I thought. They don't all like to come out very easily. That's probably a decent amount right there. Okay, so we can see we have orange, we have berry, we have apple, and we have lemon. I think we're only missing cherry. I'm gonna go ahead and try orange. Let's try this orange. Ooh, ooh, more pillowy than I expected. Ooh, that is actually really sour. Woo, that's awesome. Orange was delicious. The sourness kind of overrides that sweetness factor. My tongue is literally still sour. That's amazing. Wow, I'm actually I'm drooling a little bit. Let's try the berry now. Ooh, ew. Okay, that one tastes like medicine. Not good. Okay, and now I'm going to try apple. Two of the flavors definitely have a straight up medicine taste when you first taste them, but that sourness overrides it for sure. And I'm gonna try lemon too. This candy is incredible. This might be more sour than Warheads in my opinion. That sourness just sticks with you more. Wow, incredible. 10 out of 10 Crybaby Tears for sure. The next candy we're doing is Pop Rocks. Now these things flew off the shelves in the 1970s, but they were still popular in the 1990s. Now after you open this package and you pour those Pop Rocks in your mouth, they're gonna give you that sensation of popping via your saliva. Your saliva is what activates this candy. Opening this. This flavor is strawberry. That's a good amount, I would say. All right, going in. Wow. Can you die if you eat too many of these? I think there was a myth that said you could actually die if you ate too many Pop Rocks. That's my dog Bolt's reaction. He thinks it's crazy. Hey, Bolt. Those are really good. Those are super fun for all children too. Those Pop Rocks kind of sounded like bacon frying in my opinion. Now next up, we have Sour Punch Sour Straws. These were introduced in the 1990s. And they were produced by the American Licorice Company. This was a popular choice amongst candy enthusiasts, and I have to say, I definitely remember these as a kid. I ate these all the time. Let's rip into it. These were my favorites as a kid. Okay, so we have a couple of flavors. Let's do this first. Definitely licoricey. Slight waxy taste. I think I get that when I have licorice. And let's do blue. Blue next. Delicious. Those will definitely keep your children busy because they take quite a while to chew through. They're delicious though. I wouldn't say they're as sour though. Like I get a bit of sour, but they're not as sour as the Crybaby Tears. And this one is interesting. This is Rip Rolls. It was introduced in 2003. It is a type of licorice candy and we have cherry right here. So let's go ahead and rip into this and see what we think. I'm not familiar with this one. This one also came out after I was born, so not quite in 1995 or 1996. It kind of has like a fruit roll-up look to it, in my opinion. It's nice and pretty. It looks shiny and glittery. Whoa, kind of like a lizard's tongue. Look at that. Wow. The texture of this is definitely different than the licorice that we just had, which was the sour straws. I kind of like this texture more. really good. I've never had these before, but I like them. With this licorice candy, there's not as much dense licorice that's hard to chew through. It's fairly easy to eat. It'll still leave you chewing, but my goodness, this is really good. It's got kind of like a fruit roll-up vibe, like bubble gum vibe kinda. It's delicious, and there's nice little crystals of sugar on top. Slight sourness too. Definitely would have again. Next up we have Fun Dip. That is Cherry Yum Diddly Dip. So this is the cherry flavor right here. It rose to its current form in 1973. So that's many years ago, but I remember having these also as a kid, and I'm almost 30 years old. And a fun fact about this candy is it is known for having that white stick that you dip into the powder and then lick it off. Pull out our white stick, tearing apart the top. We gotta lick our stick, and let's go into our powdered sugar. Need to lick it more, ew. Okay, it just broke on me, that's okay. The more saliva you get on this stick, the better. That's kind of what it looks like. Not the best candy, I'll just be honest with you. Everything's kind of stale. It's usually pretty stale with Fun Dip. But it's fun for a kid. See, that's a nice powder action. You can also eat this stick too. And right here we have the Chewy Sweet Tarts. These were released back in the 1980s alongside the original Sweet Tarts. So it's mini chewy mixed fruit. Artificial, of course. Ooh, these are a different shape than I recall as a kid. The ones that I had as a kid were more like UFO shaped. I don't know if I've had the mini chewy ones before. This is what they are looking like. See, they are not quite circular. They have kind of like a UFO oval-like shape to them. They kind of remind me of Skittles a little bit. But yeah, I definitely do not remember them being in this form when I had them as a kid. I remember them being more like tablet, UFO, thin UFO shapes. Okay, I'm gonna try the cherry right now. They're smaller than I had them as a kid too. They used to be like bigger, gummy sized. Not as interesting. Cherry, not so good. Green is better than cherry in this case. Let's do grape. Not much to say about grape, can't really taste it. And lemon. Lemon steals the show here for sure. So I've got to be real with everybody. I have to say, with regards to the Sweet Tarts here, the chewy ones, the mini chewy ones, I'm kind of disappointed. They lacked flavor. Certain flavors didn't stand out like I recalled them to, and I really liked them overall as a kid much better because they were bigger, they were flatter. I feel like there was more flavor, and there was even more sourness as a kid too. I just feel like children are being skimped out on because it's way smaller. These are way smaller than I remember as a kid. They don't taste very good, do they? No. Balti Boy is trying out some candies off to the side, or he's trying to try out some candies. Okay, next up we have Cowtails. Now these were prominent back in 1984. I don't remember having these as a kid. These are caramel chewy sticks filled with cream. I am very curious to see what they taste like. And if we look closely, we can see a little bit of a cow. Let's go ahead and open it up. That's cute. Nice white tip as we see there. Smells like caramel. Ooh. Yes, I must ask you a question. This looks delicious and it smells delicious. Let's go ahead and take a bite. Much softer than the other candies. Wow. Wow, that's really good. The cream shocks you in a good way. I didn't expect the candy to have like a much softer cream-filled center. I thought it was gonna be kind of like a hard cream-filled, but it was soft. And these remind me of those caramels that also have cream in them. There's another type of caramel cream candies out there, and they have a cream-like center to them, which is really delightful. Those are cut more small though. This one is just a long shape. Here I have a Blow Pop. Blow Pops made their debut back in 1973. And you might be asking yourself, what makes this lollipop different than others? Well, there is a gum inside, which is super intriguing. Now I remember having these as a kid. I wasn't much of a fan of lollipops or gum too much, so I never really delved into these, but for lollipop and gum lovers, or either or, You will like these. Okay, let's go ahead and open this. This flavor is watermelon. Multi-boy. Hi, Multi-boy. Okay, we have revealed the watermelon lollipop. Not much of a smell. Okay, let's go in for a lick. Maybe a faint watermelon taste, not very powerful at all. I don't really know if I want to eat this whole thing and get to the gum in the center, so maybe just trust me on that. It's good. It might take some of your cravings away, so yeah. On to the next. Here is a very popular candy. It is known as Ring Pop. Now I know lots of you are probably fans of this. I was as a kid. This flavor is strawberry and they come in 6 different flavors. Ring Pop is iconic and it launched back in 1977. Ooh, I forgot how beautiful these are. Wow, look how gorgeous. And an important note is it is said that the person who invented these Ring Pops did so because he wanted to help curb his daughter's thumb sucking, which I find very interesting. Wow, look at that beautiful gem-like look on it. It is absolutely stunning. Mwah. Mmm. That is delicious. These have got to be some of the best candies of all time. Lots of good memories here for sure. And here I have Laffy Taffies. These are another candy that came to be back in the 1970s. I definitely remember these as a kid. I don't ever remember being too big of a fan of these. We have strawberry and sour apple. Lovely. They're just so hard to eat. Okay. Wow, that tastes like crayon. That tastes like a crayon. No freaking joke. Bottom of the barrel candy, bottom of the barrel. And we have sour apple here. Sour apple looks really beautiful. I like the look of it for sure. Laffy Taffy definitely leaves you chewing for ages. Okay, trying sour apple now. Not much of a taste on sour apple. That's shocking. I do stand by my original statement. Laffy Taffys, no go. Not good. They taste like wax and they taste like crayons. Okay, so if you like eating crayons, maybe you'll like that. Moving on to candy necklaces and candy watches. The candy necklaces predate the candy watches. These candy necklaces came out in the 1950s and they were a novelty back then because they combined jewelry and candy into the same thing. I do remember having these as a kid. They were really, really fun. So obviously you can put this around your neck. And then here we have our candy watch. Now the date on the candy watches and when they were released is hard to pinpoint, but online sources suggest the 1980s. I don't really remember the candy watches that much. I definitely remember the candy necklaces. So see, we can see here our candy watch. It has the time on it and our nice candy strap. It says 2:30. I'm gonna put my watch on. Ooh, these are for tiny baby wrists. What do you guys think? Do I look fabulous? That is my watch. And it wouldn't be complete without trying a bite from our candy necklace and our candy watch, would it? That's a very interesting taste. Bolt wants some, but I don't know if I want to give him any. Now let's do the candy watch. Let's try a piece off the pink part. Wow. Very hard sugar. Not bad though. For people who love a fun time with jewelry and candy, I think these two things will be up your alley. For me, they're okay. And lastly, we have Bubble Yum Bubble Gum. I do remember this as a kid. I remember chewing on this. We can see a nice, decent sized rectangle block. And Bubble Yum was introduced back in 1975, and it was special because it was the first easy to chew gum that was released for children. My tummy's starting to hurt from this sugar, which is very interesting. We have our block of gum here. Do you see it, sir? Yes, you do. You do, you do. Ooh, I forgot how squishy and moist it was. It's easy to eat. Ooh, lots of good memories with this as a kid. I remember running around with my sister and we were pulling on each other's hair and we were, you know, playing with our neighbors. Nah, I'm just kidding. We weren't pulling on each other's hair. Or were we? Just kidding. Real good memory there. This was a great candy to finish off today's video. I'm actually very delighted with the nostalgia that this one brings back. Something that's interesting though is there's a goose on the front of this gum with a mohawk and a nose ring. If this is marketed towards children, that's a little bit odd in my opinion. Interesting though. Odd choice. That's delicious. In summary, I think there's a lot of positive things about this candy box. One, it brings back a lot of nostalgia. And a lot of the candies inside are sugary, they're sweet, and they're sour, so they'll definitely be good to your sweet tooth. The cons, however, I note, are the fact that some of these candies, only some, date after 1995. So some were dating to 2000s or 2003. So that is later than 1995. But despite that one con, I really liked that trip through memory lane here. It was so delightful, and I really think that this would be a great gift for people in your life, your friends, your family. I know I'm thoroughly pleased, and I really enjoyed that Bubble Yum. In terms of my favorite candy here, I would probably say the Rip Rolls, and Bubble Yum and Candy Crybaby Tears come up in close second. The worst candy here, I think we gotta go with Laffy Taffy, man. Not only was it just so hard to chew, but it tasted like crayons and wax. So waxy crayons, no thank you. But that wraps up today's video. Let me know what you all thought in the comments below and what you look forward to seeing in the future. Which candy was your favorite growing up? Bye.